Jan. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Avi, the founder of Weavr, would you please tell us a little bit about Weavr and yourself? Go for it.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to this first summit. My name is Avi. I'm the co-founder and the chief weaving officer of Weavr. This is a community which is very near and dear to my heart. I come from a family of doctors. I'm a technologist and a product owner, and I can't wait to see what we're going to build together as a community. At Weavr, what we do is we provide a platform for expert communities where you can build a power of community and expert networks together on the same platform. So Jen and John, amazing job to get started on this community, and over to you to take it forward.
Thank you, Avi. And Kirsty, same thing. Tell us about yourself and what you do with Weavr.
Yes, so I am working with Avi to build this platform and bring it to you all. I've been working with John and Jan to figure out exactly the best way to add value for all of you folks coming from the healthcare industry, and how you can really make the most out of this community and pool all your expertise to really push forward innovation in healthcare. So it's super to meet you all. And if you have any problems during the call or any questions, just shoot me a message in the chat and I'll reply to you. Thanks, Jan.
Thank you, Kirsty. Dr. Jonathan Arts, you have the floor.
Yeah, so what people, I've been emailing everybody pretty much on LinkedIn. That's how I reached everybody on this that's here today, I believe. Maybe a few by email on your academic website. So I just want to briefly say why we're here. So I was in the Stanford LEAD program. I'm actually just finishing it. I've been in it for just over a year. Stanford University has a corporate innovation program that's for people, they actually have to apply to it. And I was one of 5 MDs that applied to this 2 years ago. We each have, there's a cohort, there's usually 2 per year. They started with 100. Avi Harsh was, I believe, in the 2017 cohort. My cohort has 540 individuals from all over the world. There are PhDs, MDs, MBAs, CEOs, senior vice presidents, corporate, just pretty much across the board. And I thought of an idea during the LEAD program. We meet on Zoom, we have interactive sessions, we have case presentations, we have to turn in our ideas formally for a grade per se. And so I thought when I was in the LEAD program, and I'm still actually at the end of it, that we should use a LEAD type of process, kind of sort of stealing the concept of LEAD into and making it more for an innovation and health community. So, and in this community, you're going to find it's extremely diverse, just like the Stanford LEAD program. We have MDs, RNs, innovators, entrepreneurs, founders, CEOs, virtual care specialists, artificial intelligence specialists, biomedical engineers from some major universities you'll be able to interact with. There's about 30 from Stanford and growing that include biodesigners, faculty, University of California, Berkeley faculty, UCLA faculty, Johns Hopkins, Bloomberg. There's Michael Presley, who was in the LEAD program. I see him here. He's at the Bloomberg School of Public Health. And so anyway, the hope is to just bring everybody together, iterate on ideas, improve the hopefully the worldwide issues that are dealing, some of them, with healthcare problems and processes, and make things better for everybody. So not just in the United States, but worldwide. And so long and the short, in fact, just this last week, we have a senior healthcare policy analyst from the Tony Blair Institute, who may not be here today, but she just joined, and Dennis Boyle from IDEO, the co-founder, he's joined this community. So I'm hoping with everybody's help, we grow this to be something great and massive and useful for everybody who's part of this community. That's my intro.
Thank you, Dr. Jan. So I am Jan Ground. I started my career in 1980, which is basically telling you how old I am, as a pediatric physical therapist in children's hospitals. And I ended my full-time career with 18 years with Kaiser Permanente in Colorado, where I led the first innovation team. I led the team called the Emerging Technologies Advisory Group, side by side with IT. And then I was the director of virtual care. So we implemented video visits and remote patient monitoring and texting and all kinds of things long before COVID. And John found me on LinkedIn. I have also been very involved with an organization called the Innovation and Learning Network. Some of you might have been members of that. It closed its doors a couple of years ago, but absolutely a very specifically innovation-focused, healthcare-focused organization across the world. And I'm kind of thinking this might be something similar. I also was certified by IDEO, again, more than 10, maybe 12 years ago, to lead and teach innovation. And my greatest expertise is in leading change. I'm currently still involved with the American Telemedicine Association, the Southwest Telehealth Research Center, and Telehealth and Medicine Today. And that is me. So instead of having 33 people introduce yourselves each for a minute, what I would now like you to do is type into the chat. So again, this is Kirsty's expertise. I'm looking at my notes. I would like you to type into the chat what you want out of this community. And we'll give a few minutes for this. Type into the chat, everybody, please. And you're going to see it on the screen.
In a short sentence. Please don't
In
make
a
it too
short
long.
Agreed. And while we're doing this, I just want to make this more informal. Anybody can talk until I say, okay, let's move on. If you want to talk, talk right now.
I forgot to mention I'm a physician also.
Yes, he is a
Not
neurologist.
that it matters.
Yes, it does matter.
That's my MD background.
Yes.
Now it feels good, John.
I
So you're
love
saying
this.
that, so you're saying that we could just chime in here? Is that how you
You
want to do
absolutely
it?
can until, let's see. Till, I'd say for another minute, you can chime in. Go for it.
Gotcha. So I love this idea. It's great. I will say that we have been doing this for 4 years. I'm also a dentist, a physician informaticist, and a serial entrepreneur. And about 4 years ago, with the idea of, from a capital raising perspective, created Global Health Impact Network, which is, we're actually quite similar and synergistic to what you're doing. We also have our own hands-in platform that we use. And, you know, our, as I typed in there, our focus has always been from day one, collaboration, communication, and education. And I think that the two organizations are synergistic. We have close to 2,000 clinician members with us, and I would love to work with you guys because I think the goal is the same. There's no competition in this space. It's just collaboration to improve healthcare.
Thank you, Gary.
Sure.
Okay, so we have a lot of stuff here, and believe me when I tell you that Avi, Kirsty, John, and I will be taking a very close look at everything you're posting to figure out what we do next. Believe me, we will be. So keep posting if you want to, but Kirsty's going to stop showing it on the screen. The next two things we're going to do, and then we're going to do breakouts. So I want you to look at the topics that Kirsty is posting and say, no, these are some of the topics that John and I have come up with. Again, John's come up with these topics mostly based on his interaction with thousands of you, okay, hundreds of you. What topics are you interested in focusing on in this community that we list here? You may choose as many as you want, but choose one at a time. And if that's not clear, you can ask Kirsty how to do it. So go ahead and do that. And if you do others, again, John and I will please put what is that, and we will see it. Kirsty, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, so to choose an answer, just type the number corresponding to that answer in the chat. So if you are interested in leading innovation, leading change, just put the number 3 and type it in the chat.
And you can type more than one number, but type it one at a time. One chat at a
Yes.
time. Perfect. Perfect. So I'm very excited. I will admit it. My greatest passion is leading innovation and leading change. So for whatever that's worth, I feel really good. Yay! It's really hard. I am also surprised. I'll admit that. So let's see. Any idea how many people have voted so far? Kirsty, or you can't tell that?
We've got a good number. I think we've got 36 votes.
Oh my goodness, that's enough. Okay, perfect. And obviously this will be saved, right, Kirsty?
Yes, so I'll share this out with
Perfect.
everyone in the community afterwards, even the folks that couldn't make it today.
Perfect. Okay, one more voting thing, and then we'll do breakouts. And the next thing is not what topics, but what process. How would you enjoy interacting most with the community? Again, you can vote more than once in the chat, but choose one number in each chat. Go for it. Kirsty, this is fabulous. You guys, I've been facilitating meetings for 40 years and doing a million Zooms, but I've never seen Stream Alive, and this is just, I love it. So as we're finishing this up, I just want to remind you guys, you're not learning a lot today. It's mostly Avi, Kirsty, John, and Jan learning from you of what do we want to do with this? What would be a good use of your time? You're not learning a lot today, but hopefully you will in the breakouts. We just want to figure out what to go from here. And I hope you all can understand that it was important to start that way, but we'll find out if you disagree. So it is now time for us to do random breakouts, which means all of us are going to be put randomly in groups of 3 people to share whatever you want to share. You could share contact information. You can tell each other what you've done in innovation in healthcare, what's worked, what hasn't worked. So let's start it now.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back. I hope you found that useful. Hope that you met some interesting people doing interesting things and sort of started to spark ideas of how what people are working on can relate to what you're interested in too. Also
Very
brilliant.
inspiring.
Amazing. I'm so glad to hear it. While we're
Is this
waiting,
another breakout room, or are we back to the main room?
we're back in the main room.
You're back to the mothership.
I just met a gentleman who was at Kaiser, who was a chief Lawrence from Tanzania, which is really interesting. So we're talking about how underserved communities and low resource countries deal with healthcare. So I could see that as a roundtable. We're just talking about that.
Oh, absolutely. You know, especially the areas of the world that are lacking in delivery of healthcare, right, and leveraging digital health. Jonathan, we have to definitely connect up and talk.
I know, absolutely.
Okay.
Maybe you
it's
can
so
merge your
parallel.
community onto Weavr.
Absolutely, yes. Gary, John, please connect. So
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
my final question, and then I'm handing it off to John, the founder, John MD, the founder, is one more time, Stream Alive. In as few words as possible, what made this a good use of your time today? And what would it have made it a better use of your time? And Kirsty's about to put it on the screen, put it in chat. And I will look at the results and then I will hand it off to John.
Are these 2 questions we got to separately answer, or is it one?
You can put it in one answer or two answers. Either way is fine.
Oh.
Thank you, you guys. Thanks for the input. Keep going. But again, please also include what would make it a better use of your time. 3-minute breaks. I love it.
We,
Identify some focus areas. Perfect. Obviously, we need
yeah,
to,
I agree that, yeah.
and we will do that. Basically, we didn't know what to do because we don't know what you're interested in, but now we have a good sense. And so we will definitely do that for next time. A topic for the breakout rooms. Absolutely. Great idea. More structure for conversation. You guys, this is perfect. I am committing with John and Avi and Kirsty that we will absolutely take all this input, and for the next time, it will make it happen. Give it a couple more minutes. And Kirsty, I just want to make sure that John and I will be able to see everything that everybody has posted after the meeting, correct?
Yeah, so we can read through all of this and iterate and improve.
Absolutely. Ha ha, Jan. Who wrote that? I was told Stacks would be.
Yeah, yes, so.
Breakouts by discipline.
I was about to write that, where are the drinks, but
I can't help you, but also it's only 10 o'clock in the morning for me. So I'm thinking, well, it's 9 o'clock for you. I'm thinking maybe I shouldn't drink yet. Just saying. Okay, it is now 10:38 my time. And I'm handing off to Dr. Don Arts, who is our founder. You have the rest of the time. It's on you, Don. I'm going on mute.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for again, everybody coming. So everybody knows there's about 160 people in the community based on the LinkedIn's that I know about. So 30 some people came today. So it's pretty good for a first time. I don't know what the actual statistics are, but it's, you know, hopefully it was more than 5. I was hoping more. You never know who's going to show up. You just don't, right? So but my commitment is to make this in the thousands, and Gary, you're going to help me do that, please. So we'll be talking afterwards, maybe later. And so points are, and I just want to make sure everybody understands that this is a very, very diverse community. I actually thought about this. I didn't just go out and start linking in with people because I could have invited anybody. I was very, very discreet in who I wanted to join this community to start it off. I feel that this is the snowball. So so you're going to find MDs, RNs, MPHs. You're going to find directors of artificial intelligence from some big universities. You're going to find biodesigners that have their life goal to be biodesign specialists. You're going to find entrepreneurs, founders from the last 5 years that have very innovative virtual care, healthcare, life wellness. It's all here. Even with 160 of us, I'm pretty confident that if we had enough enough brief breakout sessions, you would notice that. I'm confident. So anyway, another important thing is that going forward, I think the important thing about the Weavr platform is it's for experts. The goal is experts and mentoring. That's kind of the 2 words I would say. You know, sharing ideas, mentoring other people, finding value in other people's experiences and moving that forward, hopefully for something better for healthcare. And so to become an expert in the way that we would like to say, like you're a Weavr expert, there's one thing that we would like, if you'd be willing to do this, is to contribute 40 minutes only of your time once per month to open your availability up to be a mentor to somebody. It could be an entrepreneur, it could be somebody throughout the world who's starting a new company. You can actually charge for this if you want. There's actually an embedded platform where you can charge by hour. You can actually give your money to charity, but it's already embedded. It takes probably 5 minutes to sign up. There's a calendar there. Just like if anybody's done any consulting work, that's already embedded in the Weavr platform. So if you want to be an expert, that it's 40 minutes per month, and we will make you a Weavr expert. We'll put you on a special site. It gives you a designation as a Weavr expert. So if anybody's interested in that, being an expert, 40 minutes a month, could you put yes in the chat bar that you'd be willing to do that? Again, if you don't want money for yourself, you can contribute to charities. That's actually in the development to be able to give to charity. I can't go into more detail. Avi or Kirsty in the future, and before we leave, maybe you can comment on that. So again, just put yes in the chat.
John, are you seeing the comment in the chat about payment? I'm losing it. There's too many yeses. I believe I'm meeting.
Yes, so that is a great point.
Can you read it,
Mentoring,
please,
so
Kirsty? Please read it,
yeah,
Kirsty.
so if you choose to share your time, open your calendar 40 minutes a month, you can do it totally for free. You can also charge, because we know that not everyone can share their time for free. So there is the total flexibility, and we also know that people do often want to donate any proceeds they make to charity. So we're building out that functionality, and it will be there really soon. I wanted to share just this quick preview of a different community, but they have this exact same concept where they've invited experts to open their time for anyone in the community. And just to give you a quick idea of how it would show up is each person has their profile, and then you can click on it and book a quick session or a 40-minute session. Choose a time that works for you and for that person based on when their calendar is open. And then you can book it super quickly. So the whole system is built in and makes it really easy for you to give back to the community, as well as benefiting from other people that have.
One thing you
Hey,
might
Jay.
want to consider doing is similar to the charity, again, because it's always from my perspective, the idea of, how do you fund this project to make it grow, right? Because it's not free to run a network. Is that the people who donate their time that want to charitably give it away, you could put it into a pool, a foundational pool that could be used to do non-dilutive investments in innovation ideas coming from the network.
Fantastic idea, Gary.
Okay, are we good? I have a few more things to go over, and Kirsty, you can add on if you need to. So one of the concepts, like how do we bring this together? Well, everybody, it's as organic. You can talk to whoever you want. Obviously, you can email, chat amongst yourselves, say, hey, Bob, you're at Mass General, or you're at Stanford, or you're at UCLA, or you're at Hopkins, or whatever, or you're in somewhere in Europe. You can, obviously do it on your own, just like you would in any other platform, but we want to create roundtable discussions and have them live for the community, and also move those out to the Weavr channel on YouTube. So that's available to do. You just have to, obviously, if, as a participant of a roundtable discussion, be okay with that. Whatever's said, vet that, make sure that it's okay. So we want to create these roundtables. You all, I don't want to force anybody to do this. Of course, it's your time, but to come in and say, hey, Bob, Jill, Bill, we have all different synergies here. Let's talk about this topic for the community, something interesting that we brings in all of our backgrounds and experiences, and maybe a unique stance on something, right? Something that can improve something, uncover something that maybe hasn't been uncovered before. It gives other people ideas. So roundtable discussion, that's going to happen. We want to do that once a month, if possible, moderated. So the goal is somebody in the community, you can develop your own roundtables. One person's the moderator, for example, and maybe pick 3 or 4 other people. There's no right or wrong answer. We're not doing, it's not regulated, but a typical roundtable. So that should be part of the community, hopefully going forwards, and grow that organically without a top down. We're not going to say, we're going to discuss this. We want from everybody, what's interesting to you all, what makes sense, right? Then the other thing I thought of, this makes sense because this is happening in a lot of communities, not just in healthcare, is podcasts. So if anybody had an interest in starting with the people in this community, a podcast on innovation in healthcare, where we could showcase specific people. Some people would like to be interviewed about their own company and how it's evolved. It gives you your own exposure and your own company's exposure. Anybody that has interest in being part of a podcast or developing it, could you put yes in the chat box?
John, the challenge we're going to have, I think, is that after we go off this meeting, we're not going to know what they're responding yes to, because we have a lot of yeses.
It's okay, Jen. I have the recording, so we'll know at
Perfect.
what time it was asked. Yeah,
Perfect.
great, good concern though.
Got it. Thank you.
I was thinking the same thing.
Well, we see all the yeses. I've only asked 2 questions. All right, and I got your idea. So, and then finally, so you're going to get, make sure you look in your inboxes from me. It'll say Jonathan Arts, probably Innovating in Healthcare. In the future, I'll be sending out, and I'm not going to annoy people. I'm not going to send out an email every week. I have annoyed some people on LinkedIn because they didn't get back to me, and I tried to make sure that they got my email, my text, that they wanted to be part of this community, but I'm not going to do that to people. So for this, but you may get an email twice a month saying we have a roundtable coming up at this time, and there may be a banner you can click on to join if you want to. So be on the lookout for inboxes. Try not to look in your spam, I guess, if you have to do that. Also, did somebody have a question?
Yeah, Jonathan, is there a way to log on to the Weavr platform so that we could check to see those kind of posts so we're not getting a million emails?
I'm going to suggest that Kirsty sends it out to everybody. If you could send an email out to Kirsty, to everyone, on how to log into the Weavr community.
Yes, definitely. So I've just put the link in the chat. If you follow that, you should be able to access it, but I can follow up with an email or yeah, something along those lines too. Just make sure that everyone's able to get in okay.
Can you do it by email, Kirsty?
Yes.
Perfect.
And I only have 2 more things that I wanted to talk about. And these are, Kirsty, you're going to have to help me with a few of these. So Kirsty, I want to grow this community just like Gary grew his community. And I'd like to, we're not competing, Gary, but I do want to make this bigger. And I want to bring in lots of different people. I'm not sure, we have to talk about what your community is, but I want to bring in engineers, biomedical engineers, PhDs that can share things that they've learned, unique things about whatever, and so could you share, Kirsty, the link for everybody or everybody here that they could use to send out to somebody, a colleague that would be interested in being part of this community? It would probably make it easy also on me for having to go through LinkedIn, but obviously growing it, even getting 1 or 2 people that it's going to expand it out very quickly.
Yes,
so you can
I
use
just
this
put
link and copy and paste it and essentially send it to a colleague saying, I was part of the Innovation Healthcare Summit. And you all pretty much have an idea what's going on here, and you could send it to them and say, I think you'd be interested in this. Just 1 or 2 sentences, what your own thesis, your own synthesis of what I've said, what you've got gathered today, and hopefully we'll get some more people joining. Again, anybody that's innovative that you can think of, and I know that's lots of people, but be a little selective. I will look at whoever's joining and I will actually look to see that person, because I can go, at least they're on LinkedIn, and I will kind of verify they seem reasonable to be in the community. So just because you send it doesn't necessarily mean they're automatically in the community, but the chances are they probably will be, because I trust most of the people from based on what I know about you all based on LinkedIn, as much as I can tell virtually. And then the last parts have to do with, could you, Kirsty, show, because I don't know enough about specific the platform, for the special features that each person has can use in terms of resources and the group sessions parts of the platform?
Yes, absolutely.
Because there are a lot of
So-
buttons, there are a lot of places you can punch, and it's unless you spend a good amount of time, you may not notice these things. So
Yeah, exactly. And I want it to be as easy an experience for you all as possible. So I thought I would just point out a few key features that you can take advantage of once you're inside the community that should really bring lots of value to you all. The first place is, well, maybe I'll start with group sessions. Over there on the left, that's what we're in right now. So I'll just head to past and you'll be able to see today's session. This is where you can keep an eye out for any upcoming roundtables or our seasonal Innovating in Healthcare summits. So definitely keep an eye out there. I showcased experts to you before. So in this community at the moment, we have Jan and John. But as we add more and more of you who are willing to open up their time, you'll see yourself here too. And you can also discover other people that are opening up their time and maybe book sessions with them. Again, on the left-hand side, there is the resources section. Now, since this is a super fresh community, we're just at the beginning of building out the resource section. So if you have any resources that would be good to share with the community about innovation, healthcare, health tech, anything that interests you, you can create a new resource category and then add sub-resources inside. So it also means that you can kind of order these and group them together in people's area of interest, and anyone can see and access these once you publish them. Sorry, anyone within the community. So these will be shared with the community, and a super great way to share knowledge, even when you're not on a call or meeting in person. Other than that, I would just pay attention to the channels, any activity, or if people are sharing posts, questions, if they're looking for advice, you'll also find that under the seeking advice section, question and answers, all these things. But I would leave this to you to explore. But over on the left-hand side, that's a good place to look to find everything that the community has to offer. Awesome. Back to you.
done. I'm done with what I need to say. So I guess can we open it up for some questions in the last 6 minutes?
Perfect.
Or comments, anything anybody wants
Yeah.
to talk about, questions or comments? Everybody's very quiet, and I have a feeling we have lots of people in this group who are not introverts.
There's a lot of CEOs in this group. You know, there's no way they're introverts. No way.
Agreed. So I'm going to pick on, I don't know how to say it, Yaner Balan, MD. Where are you from and what are you thinking?
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm right now in Oakland, California, and I'm thinking that this is a group of extremely intelligent and also innovative folks that are going to inspire one another. You know, in our small breakout room, we were talking about humor as a mature defense mechanism, especially compared with the existential angst that we're seeing in the world. I am a psychiatrist, an emergency room psychiatrist by training. I'm with KP as vice president regionally.
Of course you're with KP.
With all the medical specialties I have, and really looking at what's going on and what's happening and the shifts within healthcare. I just want to say thank you, John, for inviting me to this, and it's a pleasure meeting everyone. So this was phenomenal. So thank you, and very, very hopeful, and there's a tremendous amount that's going to be coming out of this. So thank you.
And by the way, can I mention lifestyle is a part of this? So I mean, just because we're doing med tech, lifestyle, remote, I'm just giving you some ideas. Remote monitoring, that's a big area, obviously. Anything have to do with virtual care, telehealth, obviously is a big ongoing interest, virtual reality, but also some basic things. It doesn't have to be, it could be low tech. It doesn't have to be high tech. Low tech often solves problems. So, anything, it's all good.
I was on a call with Sumita, who's a med tech expert. She's on the call now. And I've been in healthcare since 1980. It's the only industry I know. And I know we're a mess. And she's from outside the industry looking in saying basically the same words, but much nicer of, what can I do to fix you guys? We are such a mess. Sumita, right?
I wouldn't call myself a med tech expert. I'm an IT background.
Okay. So
I'm
shall we
learning
wrap it
from
up?
y'all.
Sorry.
Just learning from y'all.
We will wrap it up and know that John and I will be spending a lot of time looking at all the comments you made and figuring out what's the best of your time in the future. janground@gmail.com. Feel free to send me an email saying, please do this, not that. Obviously, you're all in touch with John through LinkedIn. Anyway, thank you all and see you next month for something.
So before everyone leaves, one thing, I would love to take a group photo. If everyone could turn on their cameras, if possible, and I will take a quick shot so that we can share with everyone that wasn't able to make it. So I'll give you 3 seconds, 2 seconds. I see some people there still without their cameras on. Okay, 3, 2, 1. And let me go to the second screen because I didn't quite get everyone in that first one. 3, 2, 1. Brilliant. Thank you so much, everyone. That's great.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
It was a
Thank
great
Thank you,
service.
everyone.
Very much.
Thanks.
Look forward to
Thank you.
connecting.
Thank you. Thanks.